the time is right. So no questions won't be unanswered or addressed. We also encourage you to submit questions at any time through the chat, and they will be collected, carefully collected and addressed during the Q&A session at the end. And one more thing, today we have a birthday person with us. It's Sergio Durante from Ecocastulum. Sergio, all the best to you. Happy birthday. We are glad that you are here with us, and hopefully you will have the great rest of your birthday. Happy birthday, Sergio.
Yes.
So that's all for the logistics side. The goal of our event is to present the 7 outstanding innovation projects that have received funding from through the innovation grant from Ingenious. The projects are the result of months of hard work, vision, and collaboration. And today we want to celebrate their progress, and we want to show and share the potential with all of you. Each project will have 5 minutes to present their idea, their progress, and their next steps. After each presentation, we will have 3 minutes for immediate questions from the audience. So please raise your hand as to ask your questions, and these will be addressed right away. As I mentioned before, you are welcome to submit the questions via chat, and they will be discussed in more details during the final Q&A session. The session will be moderated by our colleague Glenn Ryle. Thank you in advance, Glenn. Um, so before we move on to the project presentation, I would like to say a few words about the Ingenious project itself. So our Ingenious started almost 3 years ago. I cannot believe that it's almost over. It is 36 months project with the consortium of 4 partners. We have fair metal industry from Asturias, from Gijón, Asturias in Spain, from the heavy industry sector. Nano Progress, Czech cluster with the nanotechnology, then Balticnet Plasmatech from Greifswald in Germany, and dealing with plasma technology, and Mazovia cluster ICT from Poland, the coordinator, and we are IT and ICT. What we did at the beginning, we decided we identified 7 challenges which energy-intensive industries are experiencing right now, and we wanted to build the project and the activities around these challenges. We designed our call, the main call for innovation grant, designed around these challenges. So each of the projects submitted had to address one of the challenges. Sometimes not only one, but more than 1, 2, or even 3. So we awarded 7 international projects, which lasted for 12 months, started on the 1st of January 2024. The consortia were from 2 to 3 SMEs, and with 60 euros budget for each SME. So the biggest grant was 180,000 euros for the consortium. you will have a chance to see the projects and the outcomes. We also had internationalization grants, and we awarded 10 companies going to emissions to the third countries, and our beneficiaries went to Kazakhstan, India, South Korea, Peru, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Japan, Israel, and China. They all brought good leads. Some of them presented us with MOUs signed with the companies, which they had meetings at during the visit. We also received a good feedback from the beneficiaries, stating that even though the grant was only 2,500 euros, it helped them to implement the mission and conduct the mission, which they were planning to do, but were lacking money. Also, with being a very ambitious project and very ambitious consortium, we plan to have one of our KPIs were 100 training grants. And I must admit, it was very ambitious goal to achieve, but luckily we did. We finished we reached the KPI, I think, in April, and we are very proud of that success. We granted 250 euros per company, per one person, from one company, to attend different trainings and different topics. We also built a portfolio with another Eurocluster, build a portfolio of experts and companies which could offer the trainings, and it was available on our website, so everybody could see and pick the relevant company or the trainer for their needs. And the topics were different. The most important training we had for ourselves and our beneficiaries from the innovation grants was the resilience, preparedness, and business continuity training session. We had a very extensive and very intensive training with a great trainer from Spain. So this was like very important for us, and each of us really took it seriously. And then we tried to adopt some of the topics or some of the issues to our ecosystems. The next one, for example, was a lean startup. It's from idea to MVP, minimizing market risk through experimentation. It was also a very popular training. Or the other one, like business development, or PCB prototyping. This I don't really know what it means, but still we had SMEs participating in such a training. Also managing research and development projects in SMEs, or using AI in preparing proposals. So various topics which were important for the companies and for the SMEs. So we are proud that we could help them to improve their skills. We also trained ourselves because we always, in every project, we always try to put the bar a little bit higher for us as well, to stand up for our members, to stand up to their levels. So we had the training for us and a cluster staff for up and reskilling of employees and attracting talents, because we also, during our analysis, we realized that this was, and it is still, an issue for the SMEs to one is to attract the talent, but then to keep the talent within the company, and again with the reskilling and upskilling of the employees. Also, it was also a very, very fruitful training. So we also, to make it easier for our beneficiaries, or for the companies who were thinking to apply for our grants, especially for the innovation grants, we organized 8 workshops which were dedicated to the 7 challenges. The 8th one was introductory workshop, but we had during the workshops, each of the partners from the consortium present, or the member of the cluster from the consortium presented one of the challenges, and how they dealt with the challenge. Or we also had some presentations about the challenge, and company was looking for, maybe for an answer to such a challenge. So this was also a good experience, a good knowledge exchange and experience exchange, and I'm sure that all the participants were happy to attend. We did also some matchmaking after each at the end of each workshop. So it worked out. We gathered very big crowd to each, for each of the workshops. The budget of the Ingenious was 1,050,000 euros, where 1 million was designed to grant the innovation, the 3 calls for innovation, training, and internationalization. But as you can see, this project is more than just funding. It's about connecting people, building bridges, and also accelerating bold ideas that can truly make a difference. So that's basically all about our Ingenious. And as I said at the beginning, when we started, we said, wow, it's 36 months. And now we are saying, wow, it's almost over. So it went well. We had good laughs, good work, good experience exchange, knowledge exchange, and good time for working and for making something significant. So we are excited about what's ahead of us, and proud to showcase the results. Now, to tell you more about the background of the innovation grants, the selection process, the support provided to the projects, I'm happy to hand over to Azucena Jimenez from Metal Industry, responsible for the innovation grant procedure and the work package related to innovation grant. So Azu, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Eva. To be honest, I think you have already explained a lot of information about innovation grants of Ingenious, but I will just try to put in context to the audience just before giving the floor to the presenters of the projects. So basically, I would like to mention that Ingenious has been a project with cascade funding. What does it mean? That European Union use organization as clusters that are closer to SMEs to promote the innovation in SMEs. So basically what they do, transfer the money to organization as ours organization, and allow us to manage and to design and create the competitive call. So basically what we did in Ingenious with the innovation grant call. Before launching the call, we widely disseminate the information about these grants, the 4 members of Ingenious, and also we designed the web page. There was a website of Ingenious where you could find all the call guidelines, and also in the same page there was a tool for matchmaking and also for the submission platform. So basically, well, Eva already mentioned the 8 workshops that we organized. In these workshops, the idea was to explain the challenge of Ingenious, but also to give the floor to the SMEs that have ideas or challenge to present as proposals to Ingenious, and then establish a space for networking. The open call opened on 15th of May 2023, and it remained open till August. During this time, we were available to answer all the questions that SMEs could have related to the submission of the proposals, to what kind of ideas could be optimal for Ingenious. So everything you could ask to us, we were happy to answer. As a result of the call, we obtained 53 eligible proposals, all with a very high quality, very innovative proposals, but unfortunately we didn't have budget for all of them. So we did a deep evaluation process with external evaluation experts in the different topics of the proposals. And after this evaluation process, we obtained the 7 top ranked proposals that were the ones that were funded. In these 7 projects, we have 19 SMEs, and also there are other institutions that are not SMEs but could be subcontracted by the beneficiaries. 8 countries were in these proposals. The way that we monitor the proposals were by mentoring. So we selected 4 mentors in the members of Ingenious, and we try to monitor and follow up the projects, the progress of the projects, and we were the contact point of the leaders of the projects to solve any doubt, any consult, or to keep meetings with them. So we try to help them to really have a good progress, and to be honest, it worked very well. So the projects were run for 12 months, as Eva advanced, and I have to advance that all of them met the objectives and even exceeded. So we are very happy to see that all the solutions that were obtained in Ingenious has a potential in the market, and have really met all the expectations that we got. I think I don't have anything else to say, so I will give the floor already to the presenters. We will start presenting the first of the projects that is going to be presented by Gregory Kubiak from the company Global Quantum, and the project will be waste batteries. Greg, when you want, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Grzegorz Kubiak. and I represent Global Quantum and partners to present low-cost industrial energy storage built from lead-acid batteries. Next, please. Please imagine that by the 2040, Poland will have to spend about 500 billion Polish zlotych on expanding its energy grid. It's a huge amount of money. And outdated power grids are unable to meet the required demand for new connections. Next one. Therefore, as example, in 2023, distribution network operators denied connection conditions to 7,500 new renewable energy sources. And unfortunately, this trend is growing. Next. This makes Polish enterprises no longer competitive due to the very high cost of energy, and they are denying connection conditions for planned photovoltaic installation, for example. So, is there any simple solution to these problems? Next. Yeah, we think yes. Therefore, we created an industrial energy storage made from reconditioned lead-acid batteries. It is much cheaper. I will explain later. It's made from the waste batteries and quite durable because it can be up to 15 years or longer. Next. In Poland, around 20,000 traction batteries are used every day. And after about 2,000 charging cycles, it takes about 7 years, batteries lose their capacity. Such batteries are then scrapped or disposed of. Next, please. So what we did, through the INGENIOUS program, we reconditioned 15 industrial batteries with our patented method. Next. Next. Then we built, no, please, before, well, yeah, this. Then we built 500 kilowatt hour storage unit, and we integrated our own balancer hardware to optimize performance. What is balancer? Balancer serves to optimize the charging and discharging process. The next one. We also developed an energy management system, EMS, for managing the energy storage and combining with photovoltaic installation. Next. So our model is quite simple and powerful. We want to build and sell storages based on reconditioned batteries, which are much cheaper than new available devices. Next one. So comparing the current prices, the new most popular live PO for batteries with capacity of 150 kilowatt hour is now about 150,000 Polish zlotych. And our equivalent made from reconditioned lead-acid batteries, it is amount 50,000 Polish zlotych, so 1/3 of the price. Next one. So our market is big, and if we just could capturing 0.5% of the target market within 3 years, we can earn 30 million Polish zlotych on this program. Next one. Of course, we have a competition, but with our low prices and also considering that we have easy access to the batteries on our local market, I think we are very competitive. Next one. So finally, we have very good impact on environment. Our project really aligns with the circular economy model. Batteries that would normally be disposed after standard use are being brought back to life. And we give them not only second life, but it is possible, and we are working on this. Maybe we'll also give them a third life. Also, as you can see, the reducing carbon footprint for 100 kilowatt hour is equals 7.5 tons of CO2. Next one. So finally, I want to present our consortium team. Leszek Plich, our CEO, myself Grzegorz Kubiak, Zbigniew Gałuszkiewicz, Wojciech Michnowicz, Stanisław Burczyński. Next one. And 3 companies which participated in this program: Global Quantum, ASH spółka ZO, ZUK HAK, Stanisław Burczyński. Next one. So our final motto is waste less, store more. Actually, we breathe new life into waste batteries. So thank you very much for attention. I invite everybody for cooperation, and thank you very much for attention.
Thank you very much, Gregory. Very, very interesting work as I advance. Now we will have 3 minutes for questions. If any of you want to have any question. There is someone? Okay, I think Katerina would like to make a question.
Yeah, I would like to make a question. First of all, thank you so much for the great presentation. And I would like to ask you, how do you see your innovation in the next 2 to 5 years? So meaning, for example, could you use other batteries as well? Do you see this as an energy storage system? Yeah, where do you see yourself with the innovation in 2 to 5 years?
Yeah, the first point, the advantage is that we used mostly forklift batteries, used actually only for utilization, and we give them second life. So we have a huge market where we solve the problem, how to utilize, what to do with this old batteries. So if this is big amount of this potential, so we hope that we can build this our cheap storages and solve the problem of utilization of these old batteries. So we cannot even imagine how huge market is, and also because of this we are independent on Chinese deliveries. And I think this is also a big advantage, and of course, ecological advantage.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Kate. There is someone else, Lucy. I think you want to make a question too. I don't know if, no?
Hello, can you hear me?
I have a question. Yes, I have a question. And which is the expected lifetime now of the recycle? Let me say renewed battery. It's the same of the new battery. Is it a bit shorter or something like this? Thank you.
Okay, this is a good question. Actually, we are making a patent for our method of renovation of the batteries. So we expect at least 15 years of working of these batteries, and then we are quite sure that after this one lifetime recovery, one lifetime, we can give another lifetime. We know how we have the technology to maybe prolong for another 10 or 15 years the life of these batteries. So I think for next 20, 30 years, we really solve a huge problem in ecological system.
Oh yes, it's fantastic. It's fantastic business. Yeah.
Okay, I can see that there are more questions, but I think we will save these questions for the question time afterwards, okay? Because if not, this is gonna take longer time than expected. So now I will give the floor to the following speaker that from the next project. He is Thomas Perry from Spherical Systems, and he will be disseminating the results of Silicon X. Thomas, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello. Hi, so I'm Thomas from Spherical Systems, and yeah, we'll be talking about Silicon X and what we've achieved during the progress of this project. So next slide, please. So this project was a partnership between Spherical, based in the Netherlands, and UARX, based in Spain. At Spherical, what we do is we focus on building and selling satellite electronics. So you can think about the electronics that might power a satellite or computation that might have the intelligence in the satellite. We build those electronic boxes. And the thing that's really unique about what we do is that we actually design the microchips that we use in-house, and then we get them fabricated with a European supply chain. So this is very important these days. And then our project partners, UARX, they build satellite platforms focused on space logistics. And this means moving stuff around in space. So particularly pertinent to this project is they have this platform that allows them to integrate customers' hardware onto a satellite and get that in orbit, either for testing or for operations. So next slide, please. So the goal of this project was to demonstrate that we could reduce the amount of microchips and silicon that was used to design satellite electronic systems. So of course, there is a high amount of energy used in developing and manufacturing these silicon chips. So if we can reduce that, that's fantastic. There is also a lot to benefit for the customer if we can reduce the size of the system about a factor of 10, the number of microchips. That makes the system smaller, higher performing, which is very good for space, which has to be launched into a rocket, very expensive. And we can also have a couple of extra nice features like higher reliability and software control. Next slide, please. So at high level, this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to take a microchip that we designed, then integrate it into a system that could then be integrated into UARX's satellite, and then launch this to space to demonstrate that the whole concept worked and that we can actually use this new approach to make satellite systems with less microchips. Next slide, please. So yeah, of course, and the question is, how did all this go? So this is why we're here today. So next slide. So it started with our chip that we manufactured, which is the code name of ODE. So we received this chip from the fabricators. We tested it on the bench, showed that it worked satisfactorily, that the chip itself had the right performances that we expect, that allowed us to integrate it into a system. So next slide, please. So the chip was integrated into an electronic system, basically a power management module for the satellite that allowed us to control thermal management heaters on the satellite itself, along with an array of basically digital supporting circuitry that allowed us to monitor the system when it's operating in space. Next slide. So then we had to integrate this electronic system into a mechanical housing and test this thoroughly. So here you can see some pictures of us testing the system on a vibration table, essentially a large speaker that allows us to shake the hardware very fast and very erratically to simulate the vibration effects you'd see on a rocket as you launch it to space. And the system passed, so that's fantastic. Next slide, please. Then in space, we have much higher radiation than we have on ground. So it's very important to test that the semiconductors and microchips work. So we did radiation testing at Holland PTC in Delft in the Netherlands, where we basically threw high energy protons at the chip while it's running. And we proved that it was very resilient to this radiation. So this was a fantastic result. Next slide, please. So yeah, we basically have proved that we can integrate this chip into a system, which then can be integrated into UARX satellites. So there's only really one thing left now at this stage, which is, next slide, launch it to space. So the next step is that we'll be launching to space on a SpaceX rocket. This will happen sometime early next year. We're still waiting for the exact launch date, but the great thing is we've achieved all our project goals of demonstrating the chip can be integrated into a system, which can be integrated into UARX's satellite. And then now we just have to wait for the good people at SpaceX to launch the rocket to orbit and then demonstrate that everything works. So yeah, for our side, it's been a fantastic project. we've achieved everything we wanted to do, and hopefully it's going to be the first step in a long and fruitful collaboration between us and UARCs. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks for getting us closer to the space with this project. It has been very interesting. So yeah, we have some time for questions. Anyone? Because I maybe have one question for you, Thomas. So for you, what were the biggest challenge you found during the project?
Yeah, so both UARCs and ourselves are startups, growing SMEs, which meant over the course of the project, we both had to develop our internal processes of how to actually get the systems ready and how to actually communicate the requirements to basically be able to validate the system for space. When we started the project, we were both much, say, younger companies, and we kind of grew together and learned how to have that relationship and to actually hand over the requirements and the validation of the hardware correctly. So that was it was challenging, but I think it was very valuable for us to learn that process together, and now we have a very strong relationship.
Yeah, and I think it's very multidisciplinary project. No, you involve very different individuals in this project. It's quite interesting, very interesting. So someone else wants to ask something? If not, I may have more questions for you. So how do you plan to scale and sustain these results in the future?
Yeah, so this is really the first demonstration of the model of the system. We've already, since starting the project, signed some commercial customers to have the next revision of this system. So that's fantastic. And we are also talking to UARCs about having maybe some more commercial relationships potentially in the future. So for both of us, it's very important to have this like validation to prove to customers that what we're doing works. And that's really unlocked the door to customer engagement, also further funding, both public and private. So it's really kind of been a validating process.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. So if nobody else wants to ask something, well, you can keep the questions that you may have in mind for the next session of questions, okay? So then, thank you, Thomas, again.
Thank you.
I will give the floor to the next speaker, that is Raquel Barroso from Iguala IT, a company that is also our member, so I'm also proud because of that. And she will be presenting the project ISTOR. So Raquel, when you want, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Azucena. Okay, good morning, everyone. I truly appreciate the opportunity to present today the ISTOR project, which stands for Isolated Elevator. Please, next. Okay. So the idea arises as a response to a real problem, the frequent power outages in Africa, which affect critical infrastructures such as elevators. This chart illustrates the monthly and annual frequency of power outages across several African countries. As you can see, these figures are notably high and highlight the scale of the issue. However, this also applies to other countries like Spain. We all remember the blackout that affected us on last April 28th. Next, please. Thank you. So we decided to take a step further and not only just to build an elevator system powered by renewable energy and isolated from the conventional electrical grid with an innovative cabin design, but also to develop a cybersecure by design platform to monitor its energy consumption. This approach aligns with the key pillars at the forefront of Industry 4.0 that are shown in this slide. Please, next. This sensor-equipped cabin is made with lighter materials and includes a foldable ladder that allows its installation in compact structures without overhead space. So it's ideal for regions like many African countries which demand space-efficient elevator solutions. Please, next. Thank you. Regarding the electronic system, it enables autonomous operation without a power grid connection. This is made possible thanks to the integration of solar panels and regenerative equipment, which work together to generate and store energy efficiently for continuous elevator use. Next, please. And last but not least, I would like to show you the technological component, which is the Cybersecurity by Design platform. This platform runs on a continuous cycle of secure data collection, real-time analysis, and automated response. By integrating machine learning algorithms, the system turns raw data into actionable insights, predicting faults, and optimizing its energy consumption. Next, please. Overall, the PISTOR project addresses key challenges to redefine elevator system. As it is powered by solar energy, it enables remote monitoring and predictive maintenance to keep lower operation costs. And it's perfectly scalable as it fits several different environments. And of course, I would like to point out the cybersecurity approach as a core feature of this system. Please, next. This is important because as it is well known, rising outages and cybersecurity risks combined with the smart city growth make resilient and secure infrastructures more urgent than ever. Here you can observe the latest predictions derived from this reference below. Next, please. Okay, in this context, and just focusing on the platform, it is obvious that there are already similar solutions on the market, but none of them are focused on this off-grid compatibility or truly designed with cybersecurity as a core feature. Next, please. We are delighted to show you that a key milestone is soon being taking place here in Gijón, as the first installation of the isolated elevator is happening this summer. After completing this pilot, we will be targeting other markets like the ones that we are showing here. And these countries are prioritized according to the export activities of one of our partners. And as you can see, there are some African countries like Burkina Faso or Nigeria. Regarding the revenue streams, we plan to sell the ISTOR elevator system directly and to offer this software as a service licensing with annual subscriptions and probably making possible the access of premium services related to advanced analytics and priority support. Next, please. So that's it. I would like to thank the cluster, the INGENIOUS cluster, for supporting our project, and also to our partners, Ascensor Stresa and INGENIERIA-SAMAD, for their invaluable collaboration, and of course to all of you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Raquel. Thank you so much. Again, very interesting results and very good resolution of the project. So now we have time for questions. Anyone? Don't be shy. Raquel is happy to answer all of you. Okay, Eva.
Yes, I have a question. Since it's a solar battery, how do you mitigate and how do you keep the system running when there is no sun? I know that during our last visit, study visit in Gijón, the weather was not how we all would imagine the Spain has, because
Yes.
it was cloudy. So how do you how do you manage this? How does your system keep the batteries working when the solar power is up and down?
Okay, although I am more focused on the platform because it was most our part of the work here. I know that there is actually an advanced battery management system that regulates these cycles of charging and discharging and can be adaptable to solar input fluctuations. So it ensures this long battery life. And it's, of course, absolutely critical for many countries where these, let's say, critical situations can arise. So that's what we know from that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay, so then we will wait for more questions afterwards. Okay, Raquel, thank you very much for your kind presentation. So I will give the floor now to next speaker. His name is Alessandro Cedrino from the company Iris from Italy. So he will be presenting the project IRWAS. Alessandro, the floor is yours. We cannot hear you, Alessandro.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good morning. I'm Alessandro from Iris. Today I am presenting the project AeroWash, an innovative solution for intelligent wastewater use in the metalworking industry. Next slide, please. The metalworking sector is highly water intensive. It uses large volumes of water for cooling and cleaning, producing heavily contaminated wastewater. Current treatment systems are energy intensive and lack intelligent control. This result is high environmental impact, inefficiency, and growing compliance pressure on manufacturers. We developed an interesting solution. Next slide, please. So our solution combines basically an advanced water treatment with digital intelligence. The system integrates two patented technologies by Iris SRL. The first one is a pass discharge plasma, also known as PDP, that removes over 85% of pollutants without the use of chemicals. The second one is an ultrafiltration machine and with efficient filters impurities for water use. In the next slide, you can also see an infographic. On the digital side, you can see that we have partnered with grid metrics, with real-time monitoring, predictive maintenance, automatic pressure control and optimization with artificial intelligence, and also digital twin for simulation and control. Okay, here we are with validation system and control. Our system, we can say that achieves over 85% of contaminant removal, especially perfluoral kills and also other different species of interference, up to 70% of water reuse, 30% energy saving, and also we can reach the elimination of glycol and biocides in chiller for safer, cheaper operation. It's really important that also chemical oxygen demand is reduced of more than 90%, and there is a turbidity reduction of more than 99%. That it's very good result. Next slide, please. Okay, we reach now the market potential. Our primary target, of course, are SMEs in metalworking and mechanical engineering. These businesses have high water use and are facing stricter environmental regulation. We see high growth potential, especially in Asia, especially India, Japan, and China, where eco-regulation and manufacturing growth are very strong. Our go-to-market strategy involves also local partnership and presence.
Cześć, mówi Krzysztof. Słyszysz mnie?
Sorry, there is someone that is not muted, please.
Okay, please, please kindly turn off your microphones, all of the participants, because we can hear some Polish conversation. Thank you.
Sorry, Alessandro, go on,
Okay.
please.
No problem. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are at the competition slide. We stand out with patented PDP technologies, integration of artificial intelligence and digital twin, real-time monitoring and optimization, validated large-scale prototypes, and excellent environmental impact. You can see at the bottom a prototype of our technologies with, on the left, the ultrafiltration machine, and on the right, our fast discharge plasma technology. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, our business model and roadmap, our best goals will be to reach the TRL 9 this year, and next start commercial sales in 2026 with a potential of sale of 600 units by 2030, and of course expand, as I said before, to India, China, and Japan by 2031. Next slide, please. Okay. Our expertise is advanced water treatment technologies. I just want to thank also GridMetrics and Durante Space Technologies for strong skills in artificial intelligence and digital solution, especially digital twin and sensor, engineering and prototype development, and system integration and scalable application deployment. Okay, that's all, and thank you for your attention. Don't hesitate to contact us if for any question or any doubt. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alessandro, for your detailed presentation. It's very interesting for us. It's very grateful to see how have you all of you developed the project. Is with very good results and very cutting edge technologies. So, is there any question for Alessandro? Okay, there is someone. Is Gregory? Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. It's nice to meet you, nice to see your solution. Why you choose this market like China, India? Yeah, why you choose this market?
Yes, because Italy market is very full of ultrafiltration machines, and also Europe, they know very well these technologies. Of course, we try also to market our plasma discharge technology in Italy, but it's a little, we saw that it was a very little bit more difficult in Italy to achieve potential customers. And secondly, we also think that this market could fit very well for east part of the world, because they are improving now on metalworking machine and technique right now in these years, and it could be a very interesting potential, I can say.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Caterina, do you have a question?
Yeah, as Iris is our member from BalticNet Plasma Tech, so we are really happy, and thanks for the presentation. I would like to know, Alessandro, do you think about, because metalworking industry is one industry, but we have different ones. So, for example, agriculture and textile, I think the two most important industries when it comes to wastewater or uses of water. Do you think about to involve your or to integrate your system into other industries as well?
Of course, we have already started with our plasma discharge potential machine also in textile industry. We have some customers that ask us in Iris, for example, just the plasma technology. So of course, it could be very interesting to expand not only in metalworking industries, but also textile, agriculture, of course. Yes, we have potential customer already. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please don't hesitate to do networking also in the chat. We have the chat for all these questions. If you think some of you want to contact other of our presenters today. So now let's go for the. Thank you very much, Alessandro, again.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think Glenn wants to ask something. No, I have seen your hand raised.
No, Glenn is
Okay.
our timekeeper.
Okay.
Made.
Okay. So let's go then with the next presenter. Is Raúl Carrillo from the project Sambra. He comes from the company Ecocastolum. So Raúl, if you are available, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Azucena. Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Raúl Carrillo, Chief Research Officer at Ecocastolum, Doctor in Advanced Engineering Materials, and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you for this great presentation. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to present the project, the SANRA, which stands with the acronym of Eco-Sustainable Advanced Material for Railway Application. This project, it's a real success story of a circular economy model in the mining sector applied to the transportation field, both which are really important for the European Union. Please, next slide. The next one, please. Yes. Gocaston is a technology company base composed by multidisciplinary engineering team focused on providing sustainable solutions to the mining and industrial sector, and we are located in the south of Spain, in Andalusia. Please, next slide. The concept of the SANRAM emerged in response to multiple strategic challenges identified by the European Union. It aims to align with the European Union policies on the decarbonization of the railway sector, promoting a significant reduction in the carbon footprint through advancements in the rolling stock, the infrastructure, and operational efficiency. Additionally, the SANRA support is aligned with the Net Zero Mining Waste initiative, fostering circular economy models in the raw materials value chain. Next slide, please. Therefore, at Ecocastron, we apply a specific technology, the geopolymerization of mining and industrial waste, to develop an advanced material, sustainable material for the railway sector. This material offers enhanced mechanical performance, reducing the environmental impact, supporting the circular economy models through the valorization of different waste, the mining and the industrial one. I would like to clarify that the SANRA project was composed by two phases. One of them was the development and a specific prototype, the railway sleeper, plus a feasibility study of this circular economy business model applied to the slate stone mining sites. Next slide, please. So this specific railway material, it's a polyvalent B-block railway sleeper that is used for the railway, metro, and tram for passengers and cargo trains. You can see the photo in the upper side of the presentation. The sleeper normally are made in concrete, and we replace the concrete for a sustainable material with better mechanical properties. That means that we replace the binder with the geopolymer, and we also replace the aggregates with some specific byproducts of the industrial side. Okay. So another motivation was the transportation sector. Is something that I know really well after 15 years of experience, and that was the idea to apply to this specific market. Please, next slide. Azucena? Okay, thank you. So another motivation was to use an advanced innovative material, recycling, mining, ceramic waste, and also industrial, using as precursor, using blast furnace slag as aggregates, are reaching some specific performance better than the requirements required by the Spanish railway administrator. We at the end of the project, we reached 38 megapascals of compressive strength when the requirement was 30. And also we provide the most sustainable material, which is great because we are promoting the sustainable and circular economy, increasing the life cycle, alternative to the concrete and also existing polymer plastic sleepers, and advanced materials, as I said, with a specific resistance to acid attacks, sulfates, and freeze-thaw cycle. Another motivation, maybe the most important, is about the capex, the cost. With the feasibility study that we developed during the SANRA project, we estimate the cost per unit. Okay, with the geopolymer, with the technology that we applied, we estimate that the cost is 75 euros per unit. Someone could say, okay, 75 euros, and we see that with the concrete is 205. But when you extrapolate this to the railway lines, and considering that 1 kilometer of line requires 1,666 sleepers, here you can see the great advantage. Here you see in the table that the cost per kilometer is 250, comparison 684 euros using concrete. Therefore, there is a considerable cost reduction. Next slide, please. Here you have a photo. To be honest, the idea of the Sandra arose years ago when I worked in Saudi Arabia, because there you don't have too much resources, and the motivation of one of the challenges and the motivation of the goals of the Sandra was to demonstrate the potential of the valorization of mining waste and industrial using the alkali activation materials for develop an innovative material for a specific sector. We are fully aware that we cannot compete with the concrete. However, we can make the mining more sustainable through this kind of valorization strategies. Next slide, please. Here you have the official drawings of the prototype, the polyvalent build block sleeper for mass transportation. That was the real scale prototype that we developed. Next slide, please. And also the targets that we had at the beginning of the project. It's the development of the material that can be upgraded with CO2 capture capacity. Even we could decrease also the cost, testing different raw materials. The target, one of them was to create a synergy through a valorization program of the mining, industrial, construction sector, and the strategy is always to be fully aligned with the European Union policies. Please, next, Azucena.
So, sorry,
Yeah.
Raul, you have just 1 minute more, okay? Try
Yeah,
to finish.
go to the next. So you will see the exploitation potential, the short, the medium in Europe and the medium in the Middle East. In Spain, we consider 2 years, okay, after the finalization of the project, because we need to arrive to a TRL in which we can demonstrate the capability of this material tested in a real environment. Once we have that, we will go to Europe and also to the Middle East. In fact, in the Middle East, I already start some discussion with some potential investor and also with the Saudi Railway Administration. Next one, please. Here you have some examples on different materials that we already developed, apart from the railway sleeper, in which also we have capacity, because this technology can be extrapolated to the civil engineering and the building. Next one, some non-structural elements in which the requirements are less. Next one. That's all. I'm really sorry, but the project was really amazing. I have too many things to say, but I have to summarize, and I'm really sorry for being a bit longer. If you have any kind of question, I will be really happy for replying. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Raul, for your presentation. Very nice again. So yes, because you were a little bit extended, maybe we have time for one question.
Yeah.
Someone? Eva?
Yes, you mentioned, thank you for the presentation. I was the one who was doing the internal evaluation of your proposal, and I really, really enjoyed it, even though I didn't understand much, but it was a well-written and very good proposal. So thank you for that. You mentioned that you are planning, and you already started to apply this geopolymer material to other sectors.
Yeah.
What sectors that would be?
Civil construction and buildings.
Okay, which is civil constructions means what, floors or?
Civil construction means bridges, roads, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then it is all. Thank you again, Raul, for your kind presentation, and we will give the floor to the next presenter. She's Johanna Kulankova. I don't know if I say well your name. Sorry if not, Johanna. She comes from the company Nanopharma, and she will be presenting the project Smart NanoQ. Go. The floor is yours, Johanna.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for all your interesting presentations and ideas you shared here today. My name is Johanna Kulhankova, and I'm head of product development in Nanopharma. And today I'll briefly walk you through our project, which was focused on the development of advanced quality control system for production of nanofibers. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. 3 companies have been, no, one back, please. Thank you. 3 companies have been working on this project, Smart NanoQC, Nanopharma as the company focusing on the preparation of nanofiber layers and products from them. Uplic, Czech company working in the field of machine vision and process of automation, and OddCubit, Polish game studio specializing in design and digital experiences. Next slide, please. Thank you. I assume most of you are not very familiar with the electrospinning technology. That's why I have here a short video of the production process, so you can better understand how are the nanofibers made and how is our quality control working. Can you play the video, please?
Johanna, I'm sorry,
Yes.
we cannot do it because all the presentations are in PDF, so it's not possible to showcase the video. We try to capture the most important part of the video when you see the nanofiber floating, but unfortunately we cannot play the video.
Okay, no, not a problem. You can stay with this picture, it's fine. At the bottom of the device, you can see the spinning electrodes where's the flow of polymeric solution. Then you can see in the middle this web a little bit. You can see the jet of formed nanofibers, which are collected at the top on the nonwoven fabric, and this fabric is moving in defined speed, resulting in a roll of nanofibers attached to the fabric, and then the fibers processed to the final use. Next slide, please, then. Thank you. Challenges with the nanofiber production suffers from the delay of ineffective quality control, which is usually post-processed. Defects can go unnoticed until the end of the process, which causes material, time, and energy waste. There is growing industrial demand for consistent, high-quality nanofiber layers, combined with the enhancing productivity and focus on innovative capacities. So our solution fills this gap, and its module design makes it attractive and can accelerate the access of new nanofibers products and services to the markets. Next slide, please. Thank you. Our solution lies in implementing of the quality control directly into the process of fabrication by designing a combined hardware and software system. There is a missing loader from the picture, sorry about that. But you can imagine a little bit. So we optimize the imaging setup, which consists from camera and lighting system, which scans the entire width of the emerging winding. Next slide, please. The camera is connected to the additional hardware, which processes these signals. And we also created a custom application that automatically logs and analyzes critical parameters while ensuring defects which are caught during the production. Whole process runs in time, which means if a large inhomogeneities are detected, it alerts the operator and demands corrections of parameters. Or if only small defects were detected, there is an automatic generated report with marked and captured positions of these inhomogeneities. Here you can see the integrated camera, which is also a video, so sorry we cannot play that. The camera scans the whole width of the winding. On the right up, you can see a picture. There is a figure of the detected inhomogeneity. And on the right bottom, then you can see the software solution which marked this error and saved the data for the protocol. Next slide, please. For us, it's very difficult to define the market for such a specific technology like electrospinning. Hence, we focused on the overall quality control segment, which addressed $0.3 billion in 2024. Europe addresses around 30% of the world segment based on the market segmentation and our specific niche with the automatic quality control for nanofibers and smart textiles. We estimate our initial obtained market share around 0.5 to 1.5 of the European share. As the demand for defect-free technical materials grows, especially in a sector like healthcare and automotive, our modular and scalable system position us to grow beyond 10 million euro per year in a long-term revenues. Next slide, please. We would like to operate on a B2B model, building a direct partnership with manufacturers who need a reliable quality control system for advanced production lines. Our solution is designed to be modular, combining customizable software with flexible hardware components, so it can be easily integrated into different production environments. In addition to the core system, we offer installation, training, and ongoing support as well, as paid service, of course, which allows us to maintain the high quality and client satisfaction. And to create a long-term value, we are also developing data analytics subscriptions, which provides insight into the production trends, different patterns, and help optimize to the entire process. Thank you very much. It's all from me, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions.
Thank you, Johanna. Thank you for your kind presentation, really interesting. As you can find out, all of you, the audience, these are not just the results of projects, but also a good piece of dissemination, scientific dissemination, no? Because each of the presenters are giving us a lot of details about the technology that they are using. So it is really interesting all that they are talking about. So let's see if someone wants to ask for questions. I think Lucy, go ahead.
Yeah, I have actually I have two questions. So thank you, Johanna, for a very interesting presentation. And I would like to ask, what was the biggest challenge from your 4 challenges? What was there during your solutions or during your research? What was the biggest one?
Yeah, that was almost at the beginning of the project because we integrated the camera inside of the spinning chamber, but there were problems with electrical field inside. So we had to position the camera and the lighting system elsewhere, and that results in that we have to cut a hole into the electrospinning machine, and we had to fix the camera in a different way that we originally planned. That was the biggest one, I guess.
Yeah, I see, because electricity and optical camera or camera is not very nice friends. Okay, thank you. And the last question is about commercialization. You spoke about your business model, but I think it's not so easy to go to the market. Do you have a plan for some investor or some partners who could help you with entry to the market?
As I said, the electrospinning technology is quite unique thing. There is not many manufacturers of nanofibers in the world. So we try to research any different industrial partners because our system is quite modular. You can just define the errors you want to find, and the system will work the same way as with the nanofibers. So we are doing a research for industrial partners, like from textile or automotive, who could be this QC also beneficial.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, someone else wants to ask any question? I think, Glenn, I can see your hand. Do you want to ask a question? No? Someone else? Okay, if not, yes, again, save the questions for later in the chat. So let's go for the last but not least project. I will ask the next speaker, who is Julian Keller from the company Eugene Global, and she will be presenting the project EcoDry. Please, Julian, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Azukina, and good morning to everyone. So my name is Juliane Keller, and I am here on behalf of Eugene Global, an SME based in Cyprus. And I'm here today to present to you the project outcomes of EcoDry, which is addressing a pressing issue and problem in industrial drying processes. So we go to the next slide, please. So industrial drying is one of the most energy-intensive processes in mineral processing, and which gives a lot of pressure to the manufacturers or the plants, which are using up to 40% of their total energy use just for drying processes. The typical industrial dryer are direct heat rotary dryers, which are thermally inefficient and powered by fossil fuel, which is, as we all understand, a pressing issue. And to give you a good equivalent, a single large-scale dryer can emit up to 2,500 to 5,000 tons of carbon dioxide annually, which is an equivalent of the energy consumption of 300 to 600 households, to give you a number. So we go to the next slide, please. And yeah, if we look from the plant director's perspective, energy prices in Europe are rising, as we all know, which is tightening the margins of the plants. Replacing old system requires a high upfront capital investment and also downtime. And as a result, many operators postpone upgrades, although they have regulatory pressure and also the inefficiencies. By the way, on the left-hand side, we see a picture, a photograph of Geohella's mine in northern Greece, where we implemented our solution in an industrial pilot test. Next slide, please. So our solution, EcoDry, is a compressor-driven drying system for industrial use, and it uses high-speed centrifugal compressor to increase the thermal efficiency. It is built for retrofitting. So it's an upgrade of the plant facilities, and it integrates into existing drying lines with minimal disruption. It is modular, scalable, and also supported by an energy as a service business model, which we are going to have a look into in the next slides. And on the right side, I mean, the motor is one of the most important parts, and you can see illustration of the compressor on the right side of the slide. So next one, please. So during the INGENIOUS project implementation, we developed two prototypes of the technology. The first one was a small-scale laboratory prototype, which was tested successfully in the first half of the project, and then we went to the industrial scale prototype, which we implemented in GeoHella's plant in Greece. And the industrial scale prototype was accompanied by a digital twin simulation to collect data and to see the outcomes. The simulation accuracy, we could get it to 72%. So to take the data and optimize the system further. Next slide, please. The data that we collected during our pilot test, we integrated it fully into the eQuad Capital platform, so where all the data can be found for investor access and due diligence. During the project, a part of the project was a very extensive risk assessment and business continuity plan, which we created specifically for the implementation of EcoDry. And GeoHellas, our industrial partner, declares already interest to scale up the solution into their daily business operation. Next slide, please. So if we look into the market, we do have two target market segments, let's say. The very first one, the obvious one, is mineral processing plants. So any plant that is processing bentonite, kaolin, perlite, anything mineral. And the secondary target market segment is wastewater sludge drying, because basically the system is ready to be used in all industrial drying applications. And wastewater sludge drying could be a very interesting second market. Yeah, if we look into the numbers, the European industrial dryers market was valued at approximately $2.9 billion in 2023, and is projected to grow further to around 4.7 billion by 2032. So this is the European Union industrial dryer market. And if we look on a global scale, then we can say that about 25% of the global industrial dryer demand and market is covered by European Union suppliers, with Germany, UK, and France on the forefront.
Please, Julian, sorry, Julian, you have 1 minute more, please.
Okay, yes. Early adopters might be mid-sized processors facing high energy cost and ESG pressure. So next slide, please. Yes. If we look into our competition, we compete with direct heat rotary dryers, as we explained in the beginning, which are inefficient and fossil fuel reliant. There are solar thermal collectors which have a low OPEX, but you need space and may face weather constraints. And heat pump dryers are efficient, but have usually quite high installation costs and complexity. So EcoDry can point with a lower OPEX, especially if we are using the energy as a service business model. It's retrofittable, which I mentioned before, which means minimal space and plant modification needed. We have the integrated simulation, which is always a great approach to make optimizations. And yeah, we already demonstrated performance in real industrial conditions. Next slide, please. So the the energy as a service business model is put in simply words that the client pays based on performance, based on the energy saved. So there's no upfront capex and therefore lower adoption barriers. Anticipated revenue streams in long-term based contracts, optional maintenance and service bundles, and future performance through performance data services. And next slide, please. That's the last one. Oh, no, it's not. So yeah, investors' involvement would enable us to launch GeoHellas as a full customer and expand our outreach via energy consultants and industry partners. As I mentioned before, all data is already implemented in the Equot capital platform. Yeah, which is yeah. So yeah, thank you for your patience and time, and that's from my side, and I'm happy to answer your question.
Okay, thank you so much, Julian. Yes, we have just time for one question, so please, I think Glenn now, I think he wants to ask some question.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. That was really interesting. I just had a question about the wastewater, the stage 2. You mentioned the wastewater sludge drying process.
Yeah.
Are there any sort of known byproducts that that I guess that process can assist towards developing? Like what happens when that wastewater sludge is dried, and what's the end result or the goal of drying the wastewater sludge?
Yeah, I mean the goal is always to save energy during the process, and obviously to reuse the waste heat, and to have in the end as much clean water as possible.
Sorry. I think Gregory has a new question, but please, Gregory, save the question for later, okay? Because we are running out of time.
Okay.
Sorry. So then we already finished with all the projects. I'm very happy and proud to be part of this route that we started together with the INGENIOUS Innovation Grants. As you can see, 7 projects, very different projects with very different results, but all of them very interesting for the industry and for social life also. So I will stop here because I think we are running out of time. So just I'm giving back the floor to Eva. Please, Eva, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Azucena, and thank you to all the presenters. We've just heard 7 compelling stories full of vision, passion, creativity, and ambition. And now we would like to invite you, all the participants, to take part in the short audience poll via Slido. You will have on your screen, you will have a slide with QR code, so you can scan the code or use the link posted in the chat. And it will be a kind of audience award if you try to enter the Slido and answer the question. Okay. Okay, I cannot see. So what we have is which project or innovation stood out to you the most? Okay. Okay, we can see we have 13 participants. All of you, please take a vote. As I said, it's kind of audience award. Right now we have waste batteries. On the first, let us see. come on, there are 38 of us at the audience. Please use your vote. It's your time to award the project you like the most, or you thought was the most interesting for you. Okay, maybe a few more minutes for the voting. Okay, so we can see that the difference are not that big. We have waste batteries with 33%, then iron wash, Zamra eStore, Smart Nano Q, EcoDry, and Silicon X. Could be, yeah, 23 people voted. Good. So let's wait a few more minutes. Okay, just vote between the sipping the coffee. Okay, we see that iron wash and Zamra are head to head. Okay. So I guess we have the winner. I think this is the most we can get from the audience. So we have the winner, waste batteries. Waste batteries is the winner. Congratulations. Clearly your presentation resonated with everyone here today, but let's say that all 7 projects brought something unique and inspiring to the table. So now, thank you for the poll. Thank you for the QR. Now we, before we wrap up, let's move into our Q&A session. And in addition to the questions, from the audience directly, as I mentioned before, just to remind you to raise your hand to ask the question. We will address the questions submitted in the chat. I hope that there are a lot of questions in the chat. So we will address them and also give space for any final thoughts or reflections from the audience. And once again, Glenn will moderate this part of the meeting. Glenn, over to you.
Thanks, Eva. And once again, thank you everyone for your amazing presentations and your project work. It was good to see the results of all your hard work. So I'm just going to help coordinate the questions at the moment. While just coming off the EcoDry session, we had a question from Gregory. Do you want to ask that question now while we've got that space?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you, Grant. I would like to ask about the TRL and more which level do you've got the actually you've got the prototype or you've got like final product. It's my questions to the last project.
Yes. So during the INGENIOUS project, we could reach TRL level 5. So we, as I explained in the presentation, we built 2 prototypes, and I guess the more relevant one was the industrial scale size prototype, which was implemented in GeoHellas premises.
But it's interesting to me, you are ready to, implement your product to the final customer, or do you need still some researches?
I mean, we have the prototype implemented and bypassed by the digital simulation, which is collecting data and to see where we can optimize the processes. And especially the simulation was very helpful in optimizing the air vapor separator. So to avoid the need of oversized, expensive heat exchangers. And this saved significant materials and costs while maintaining performance. So in GeoHellas, we do have the prototype implemented for one drying line. And the next steps with this customer will be to implement it in the daily operations and have a long-term service contract. And as I also explained in the presentation, the energy as a service business model.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Julian. And we've got a question from Azucena.
Yes, sorry, because I didn't have time to ask this question before. So my question is for Thomas from Silicon X, and I have the question about the application of your prototype. So could the design approach be extended to terrestrial applications where silicon usage is also critical?
Yeah, definitely. So we see that on the roadmap. That this approach is very relevant to, it's particularly in the industries that have high reliability requirements. So also like aviation or let's say transport, but really anywhere where you're using semiconductors, we can use this approach. We just start with space because they have very high requirements. So there we can basically, customers willing to pay more for that particular need. And then once we kind of lower the cost base, then we can start to use that across different industries.
Very interesting. Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks.
Thank you, Thomas. And please feel free to turn your cameras on to help with the engagement for if you're asking a question or answering, just it can sometimes help the response. And yes, I think we've got a question from Katarina, please.
Yeah, actually, my question would go to Samra. I think it's Raul, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Raul, just one question. I understood that you have this specific material which is not concrete for the sleepers.
Yeah.
As I'm traveling quite a lot by rail all the time, actually, I have to say. So I'm well known with the rail system, and I just know that it's quite difficult, to close down full tracks because they are used all the time. So actually, my question, just to come to the question, my question would be: there are these concrete sleepers already there? New ways or new lines are always difficult because there are existing lines already, and most of I'm not quite sure how the railway system is working in Spain, but Germany, they have their lines going from one city to the other one. So closing down the tracks is pretty difficult, especially for the very running tracks. How do you would like to go into the market, into the rail market, because the concretes are there already? I know they have to be changed and they have to be replaced at one time. I don't know how much time they can stay, but how do you want to go into the system? Because I think it's quite difficult to enter the railway system
Yeah, and you're totally right. Okay. We already know that there are existing railway lines, okay, with a life cycle assessment, the durability of the sleepers, maybe 25 years, okay. However, there are some certain areas, for example, in Spain, in which the concrete sleepers are aggressive, degraded, okay. Therefore, for example, you have to replace them. So we thought that is the best step for starting the entrance in the market, in the renovation of the tracks. However, if you remember at the beginning of the presentation, I said that the sleepers, the typology of the sleeper that I decide for the Sunra is applicable for railway, tram, and metro. Therefore, I have another door for entrance in the market. So the railways, because I have expertise in the railway sector and I decide myself, because it's aligned with my PhD dissertation, to go there. But in theory, makes more sense to enter in the tram system in the metro, which it's more easy because we are promoting the clean, sustainable transportation system in the cities. I don't know if I replied your question.
Yeah, totally. And just if I'm allowed, just one very short
please.
question ahead. I'm just is it possible for me just to understand this?
Sure.
Because you can feel when you're on the train, you can feel the sleeper or the, I don't know how to explain this correctly.
No. Sorry for interrupt you.
No, of course,
when
go.
you go in the train, you don't feel the sleeper, you feel the rail. But the sleeper is the responsible for creating a smooth surface, for increasing the capacity, the speed and the comfort.
Okay, so actually
that is a relation, yeah.
Okay, so actually it could be that you have 50 kilometers of concrete and then you have just 1 kilometers of yours and then 50 kilometers, and you don't, as a passenger, you don't feel the difference.
No, you don't
Okay,
feel the
okay,
difference. You don't feel the
okay,
difference.
okay.
In fact, let me tell you something. When I work in Saudi Arabia, there obviously we try to test polymer concrete, polymer sleepers, and that was a real disaster, because the desert is really aggressive also with the sun radiation. Okay, and to be honest, at the beginning, in the first 6 months, there was no any kind of difference between the concrete and the new one. However, with the time, with the decreasing of the properties, then you have some kind of bumping, deformation of the track, etc., etc.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you. Eva, we have a question from you.
Yeah, my question goes to Smart Nano QC, to Johanna. I was wondering, how accurate is your quality control setup to spot any tiny defects in nanofiber fabric? Because I know it's almost like invisible. So how do you control the quality?
The quality is quite precise. I would like to avoid any number, but I would say that it depends on the setup of the camera. But I would say that the resolution is under 50 microns. So around that number, we can ensure the reliable and repeatable quality assessment.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eva. Do we have one or two last questions, perhaps for our top polling project, waste batteries? Any questions for them at all?
Then I have a question maybe for waste
Sure.
batteries.
Go ahead.
So once put into everyday use, how long do you expect these regenerated batteries to last, Greg?
As I explained during presentation, we found our specific method for rejuvenation of these old batteries. And with the experiments, we find out that, and this is patented, that our system of charging this battery makes along the rejuvenation of these batteries. So now we are sure, at least for that this rejuvenated batteries will last for 15 years. But also due to our technology, we know that after this time, we can give them another life. So I don't want to say that we are close to perpetuum mobile, but something in this direction had revealed during our tests, and we are very surprised positively, and hopefully the timing is yet not yet known, but I think it will be long life process which will surprise our customers.
So it was something new for you. I mean, you didn't expect so much access with this lasting when you started when you wrote the project in the proposal.
No, I mean during the project, when we developed this method of new method of charging and these batteries and rejuvenation, this was kind of surprise, and this was kind of innovation that before testing we had certain predictions, but in reality it became much better.
Okay, so this is nice. It's still better than expected, no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much, Greg,
Thank you
for your information.
Thank you very much, Asu and Greg. And yes, Katerina, perhaps one of our more final questions. We're sort of running out of time, but go ahead, Katerina.
Yeah, I would like to ask Alessandro from iRoche. How did you come to clean, or to, let's say, clean the wastewater in the metal sector? So why did you choose the metal industry sector?
Yes, because it's a very interesting wastewater because it's very various. We are testing different membranes, not only polymeric membranes, but also ceramic membranes with different type of metals. So it's a very big world of different metals to test our membrane. So it's not just a single contaminant, but it's very useful to test our membranes with different type of metals and different type of mix of metals. It was very interesting to test different types and different materials of membranes. Basically, this one the biggest goals. Yes.
So actually, you started with the biggest challenge, and then
Yeah,
going to the more easier sectors later on.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sounds like a good plan, and it looks like there could be some other application areas yet to be found, which is great. Asu, did you want to have a question now?
It's just for not forgetting about Easter, that is the only one that now has not been asked. So Raquel, just very quick question. So Raquel, is there a way of detecting possible safety issues before they become with your solution?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, there are some integrated sensors within the cabin and the whole structure of the elevator. And of course, there are already machine learning algorithms implemented in the Cyber Secure by Design platform. So both components are like integrating to constantly analyze the system behavior in order to detect anomalies. So it's something that is not normal arises, the system will enable an early warning in case a human is needed, for instance, in case there is a mechanical problem, other energy, an overcharge or something like that. So it allows this proactive intervention.
Okay, thank you, Raquel.
Thank you again. I think we've had a number of great questions there. I know we're sort of being pressed for time. If anyone has any last question to take us out with, otherwise I might hand it back over to Eva to help wrap things up here.
Okay, I think since we since we are short on time, if you come up with some additional questions, please contact us. Please contact the partners. We will be glad to pass the question to the relevant projects, and they will be happy to answer you. We also can share the presentations if any of you is interested in the presentation. Please also let us know, and we will share it with you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of today's event, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your time, your attention, and your engagement today. A special thank goes to all our presenters. Your ideas and your energy truly made this event a celebration of innovation. And it has been inspiring to witness how much can be achieved in just 12 months when bold thinking meets the right support. To all the teams, whether your project received the most votes or not, you are all part of something meaningful. And you've taken the ideas and turned them into the action. And that's already a huge, huge success. So once again, thank you very much. I would also like to thank my lovely consortium, my friends, my partners for such a great time, for such a hard work and good results, and for this exciting journey within INGENIOUS. Guys, thank you very much. And I hope that today has not only been a platform to showcase the work of the beneficiaries, but also a moment to connect, reflect, and look ahead, as we could see from the questions and maybe comments. And we look forward to seeing what the next chapter brings for each of this incredible project. As a takeaway for our beneficiaries, we would kindly ask you to answer 2 short questions on Slido again. I hope there'll be nice takeaways. So, what determines the success of a technology or product in the market? Since we have so many diversities in the audience, we may have also very inspiring answers. Okay, 5 people voted. So what we have lean management, impact on the industry, answering for client needs. That applies to every sector and every level of technology. Efficient communication between partners. Yes, that's very important. Good timing, good marketing. Alignment with EU demands and policies. You see a lot of great answers. Price also. Good market awareness. We all know that we have to be on our toes all the time, because the time flies and the competition doesn't sleep. So yeah, that's a great answers. I think it's a good takeaway for our beneficiaries, not only for the beneficiaries, but also for all of us. Okay, maybe 2 more minutes with these questions. So we have price, obviously. That's also a very important analysis of the market, on the competition. Market demand, that we also need to control and investigate. Okay, so I think let's move to the next question. What single word of advice would you give to the innovators? Okay, be brave, keep innovating, courage, be resilient, stay strong. Absolutely brilliant answers, brilliant advices, empathize, creativity, go global. Yeah, that would be great. This is what we wish for. Courage, brave, stay strong, be resilient, keep innovating, creativity, be creative. Yeah. That, well, the projects, the pitches today prove that our beneficiaries are very creative and innovative. Okay, so proactivity, yeah, be proactive in this fast-changing world. Okay, maybe 2 more, 3 more. Come on, add something. Maybe. Okay, I did communicate with this. Thanks for your work. Yes, somebody just thank. Yeah, excellent. Very, very nice. Very nice advice. Thank you very much for participating in this poll. Okay, now the last request we have. Before saying goodbye to all of us, we would like all our presenters to have the cameras on, to have a last family picture for our reports and our files. So if you could turn your cameras on, and we will have a screenshot and a picture.
Eva, sorry, we have to stay a bit. Sorry, because I have to go on 3 different pages to make that screenshot. Because we are not fitting all into one.
Okay, yes.
At least not from my gallery
Yeah,
perspective.
that's true. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not quite sure how to change the gallery perspective. Sorry.
We have a big crowd, so I mean, happily, big crowd.
Okay, 1 more second.
So Kate, if you go to gallery in big size, I think you could manage. I don't know.
Okay, I got each of you different now. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so we have it, right? The family picture. All right, so this is the real end for me. Once again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for joining us today. And I hope that you all appreciated the effort and an excellent presentation from our beneficiaries. Once again, thank you so much, and hopefully talk to you soon. Bye now. Thank you. Can INGENIOUS stay?
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice
Thank
day.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Ingie, can you stay? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what, guys? What do you think?
Okay, wait. I think that someone else is still around.
Yeah.
We can just wait. We can just.
I know Lucy wrote that she had problems with internet.
Wait.
Maybe Asu, you can.
Yeah, I am doing. No.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we are. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. What do you think? What do you think? How did it go? I think it went really well. No.
Yeah. You save my work, most of my work, because it's better for me, to be honest, that I could say my information in just 2 minutes as expected, and it's okay. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
but you managed. You did very well. So yeah, very nice. And you know that I'm talkative. So yeah,
I know.
well, I had to. Well, I had to. Because maybe my mistake was that I didn't mention the Ingenious project beforehand. But then I realized that I need to talk about the project in detail, because I mean this is
Of
more
course.
thanks to the project. So
Yeah, but
but
it
I'm
was
glad.
nice.
I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm wondering. I know that the Marshall office was present. I know that the girl from the agency, the PARP agency, was also present. So yeah, plus the investors. I know that Berlin joined. Unfortunately, the investor from Monaco, he didn't join. He will be at the office at 1 today. So well,
But
I'll show.
anyway, I think it was great. I
Yeah,
think it was enough.
yeah, nice
And
presentations.
and what about Glenn? Glenn, is your first experience with us in the Alive event. How did you feel?
Yeah, no, it was good. I think, we had some, it was good to be prepared with the questions in advance and those kinds of things. And, I think we sort of managed it with a bit of the WhatsApp side chat. That was helpful. One of my little feedback things was around the Slido thing. I know it's a new sort of technology thing, but I think it was hard sort of waiting for people to answer. I don't know if it allows you to sort of
Yeah,
move
but I
on
think
to.
it's okay. It was
Really
it
good.
ran, yeah, it ran good.
But I
Yeah.
just thought like if you're short for time, like you could leave the Slido up somewhere, do a couple of questions, and then come back to the results rather than all waiting in the
But
room.
then, you know what I think? But then people won't vote.
Mm.
You
But I
just
guess
put it aside
would,
and.
in my mind, I would have, as the moderator, just gone, don't forget to vote, and then we'll look at the results. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then so they're not just sort of all just, you're not having to pull people to vote. But I mean, it was still fine. We got
okay.
the,
Well, it's your it's a good feedback. We just you usually did Slido is used as some kind of a break. To make to distinguish the parts of the meeting. So
Yeah,
we
and
thought,
actually, I've never seen something. I'm just thinking about what Glenn said, but I never experienced this in any session, to be honest. So it was always the same, like Eva did right now. So please vote and whatever. Sometimes the speaker was saying different things and explaining something. But I never had this that somebody said, okay, here's the Slido, and we go further with other things, and then we are coming back. At least not that I was participating in.
Yeah.
And I've never used Slido before, so I think you did a really good job. So I'm not like, but
it's valuable.
Yeah.
Comment.
Maybe that's something feedback for Slido I need to give.
Okay, listen. So now, where are we going to publish the recording? Are we going to put it on YouTube, as we did with some other meetings? Remember?
Wait, I didn't stop the record. Well,